Today's lesson is 1.6, multiplying by a one-digit number. Our essential question is, how do you multiply by a one-digit number? In looking at unlocking the problem, each day an airline flies 9 commercial jets from New York to London, England. Each plane holds 293 passengers. If every seat is taken on all flights, how many people will fly in this airline from New York to London in one day? So we can use place values and regrouping. Step 1 says to estimate 293 times 9. Well, if you think about 293, it's really close to 300, and times 9. Well, I know that 9 times 3 is 27, and then I have my two place values, so that would be 2,700. So my answer should be somewhere around 2,700. Step 2 is to multiply the ones. Well, 9 times 3 is 27 ones. Step 3, we're going to multiply the tens. So 9 times 9 is 81 tens. Add the regrouped tens, 81 tens, plus the 2 tens, and you get 83 tens. Step 4 is to multiply the hundreds. 9 times 2 hundreds is 18 hundreds. Add the regrouped hundreds, 18, plus the 8 hundreds, and you get 26 hundreds. So, in one day, 2,637 passengers fly from New York to London City. How can you tell if your answer is reasonable? Well, I can compare my answer to the estimate. Since 2,637 is close to the estimate of 2,700, the answer is reasonable. Example. A commercial airline makes several flights each week from New York to Paris, France. If the airline serves 1,978 meals on its flight each day, how many meals are served for the entire week? To multiply a greater number by a one-digit number, repeat the process of multiplying and regrouping until every place value is multiplied. So if I'm going to estimate 1,978 times 7, I could think that 1,978 is close to 2,000. 2,000 times 7, well, I know 7 times 2 is 14, and then if I'm multiplying it, I'm going to add my 3 zeros to get 14,000 as my estimate. Step 2, multiplying the ones. 7 times 8 ones equals 56 ones. Step 3, multiplying the tens. 7 tens times 7 tens is 49 tens. Add the regrouped tens, 49 tens, and 5 tens, and you get 56 tens. Step 4, multiplying the hundreds. 7 times 9 hundreds is 63 hundreds. Add the regrouped hundreds, 63 hundreds, plus the 5 hundreds, and you get 68 hundreds. Step 5 is multiplying the thousands. 7 times 1,000 is 7 thousands. Add the regrouped thousands, 7 thousands, plus 6 thousands, and you get 13 thousands. So in 1 week, you have 13,846 meals are served on the flight from New York to Paris. In problem number 1, I have 6 times 796. So I can estimate that to be 6 times 800. Sorry about that. And 6 times 8 is 48. And then I add my 2 zeros, and I get 4,800. So if I'm going to multiply the ones and regroup, I have 6 times 6, which is 36. Then I'm going to multiply the tens and add the regrouped 10. So I have 6 times 9, which is 54, plus the 3, which is 57. So you can see they put the 5 there and the 7 down below. So here I have 6 times 7, which is 42, plus I have the 5, which is 47. So the answer is 4,776. On number 2, I would estimate 608 as 600 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. Times with the 2 zeros is 4,800. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 0 is 0. Add my 6 tens, I get 6. 8 times 8 is 48. So the answer is 4,864, which does come close to my estimate of 4,800. The next estimate I would make is 2,400, because 556 is close to 600, and 600 times 4 is 2,400. If I'm doing my math all the way out, I would have 6 times 4, which is 24. 5 times 4, which is 20, plus my 2 tens is 22. 5 times 5 100s is 200, or 20, plus the 2 is 2,224. The last question is number 4. If I were to estimate this, I would get about 2,000 times 7, so that would be 14,000. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 3 tens, 17. 7 times 9 is 63, plus the 1 100 is 64. 7 times 1 is 7,000, plus the 6,000 is 13,000. So I have 13,700 or 475. My estimate on number 5 would be 800 times 3, which is 2,400. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 3 is 27, plus the 10 is 28. Oops. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 200 is 2,300. So the answer is 2,382, which is close to my estimate. On the next one, I'm going to have an estimate of 800 times 6, which is 4,800. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 2 is 12, plus the 10 is 13. 6 times 8 is 48, plus the 100 is 49. So that's 4,932. On the next one, I'm going to have an estimate of 1,500, because 5 times 3,000 is 1,500. So we have 5 times 2, which is 10. 5 times 0, which is 0. And we have the 1 10, so we have 1 10, and that's 5 times 1, which is 5. Oops. And then 5 times 3, which is... On the next one, we have 6 times 6 is 36. And then 6 times 9 is 54. On the next one, we have 6 times 6 is 36. There we go. And 6 times 9 is 54, plus the 3 is 57. So our missing number here is going to be 7. On the next one, we have to think about what times this missing number is going to give me a 6 here. And if I were to make it a 7, then 7 times 8 is 56. So 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 5 is 21. The 1's already there. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 2. Put my 0 there, bring my 1 up. 8 times 5 is 40, plus the 1. So my answer should be 41,016. On the next one, my missing numbers are 7 and 2. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go over these last problems. I want you to pause them, try the problem, and then I want you to solve the answer. But when you're done, you can check your answers. So I have my estimate on number 11 is going to be 300, and the actual answer is 348. On number 12, the estimate is 1,200. And the actual answer is 1,352. On number 13, the estimate is 1,200, and the actual answer is 1,314. On number 14, the estimate is 3,500, and the actual answer is 3,192. On number 15, the estimate is 5,000, and the actual answer is 5,060. On number 16, the estimate is 9,000, and the actual answer is 8,763. On number 17, the estimate is 36,000, and the actual answer is 35,252. On the last problem, the estimate is 27,000, and the actual answer is 27,297.